What if the biggest threat to your health after 60 isn't your age, but the myths you've been told about aging? What if everything from muscle loss to brain fog isn't just how it goes, but actually preventable, even reversible? And what if the real key to aging well isn't found in a pill bottle, but in simple daily choices no one's ever taught you to prioritize? In America today, more and more seniors are living longer, but not necessarily better. Many face increasing fatigue, chronic aches, declining strength, and loss of independence. Despite advances in medicine, lifestyle-related issues like sarcopenia, poor nutrition, isolation, and lack of mobility continue to erode quality of life after 60. And yet, there's a quiet revolution happening among those who dare to age differently. In this video, Healthy Aging After 60, the truth no one talks about, we uncover what really matters for your health after retirement. You'll learn the latest science-backed strategies to improve muscle strength, preserve brain function, support emotional health, and stay independent well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. No gimmicks, just real, actionable insight for real people like you. So if you're ready to take charge of your health and feel stronger, sharper, and more alive, this is your starting point. If you find this content helpful, please like this video, subscribe to Senior Health Source, and share it with friends or loved ones. Together, we can rewrite the story of aging and show that vitality doesn't have an expiration date. Let's start with perhaps the most underestimated pillar of healthy longevity: maintaining muscle mass. Most people assume that muscles are just for athletes or bodybuilders, but in reality, muscle is one of the most powerful organs in your body, especially after 60. What most seniors don't realize is that muscle does far more than help you move. It talks to your body in ways we're just beginning to understand. Muscle tissue releases special signaling molecules called myokines. Think of myokines as tiny messengers. When you exercise, especially through resistance training, your muscles send out these messengers to every corner of your body. They help regulate immune function, protect against inflammation, boost cognitive performance, and even trigger pathways that may reduce the risk of cancer. Yes, you heard that right. Muscle doesn't just help you lift groceries or walk steadily. It's actively working behind the scenes to keep your entire system in balance. But here's the challenge. Starting at around age 30, we begin to lose 3 to 5% of our muscle mass every decade. By the time you hit 70, you could have lost up to 25% of your original strength. And that decline can be even more dramatic without proper activity. This condition is called sarcopenia, and it's not just about looking frail. Sarcopenia directly increases your risk of falling and fracturing bones, losing independence, slower wound healing, poor immune response, and even cognitive decline. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors who maintained muscle mass through resistance training had a 30 to 40% lower risk of falls and fractures compared to their sedentary peers. So, what's the solution? It's simpler and more powerful than you might expect. Start resistance training. Even light strength-building exercises can reignite your muscles and reverse years of decline. Let me share a real example. In the Lift More study conducted in Australia, women over the age of 65, many with osteoporosis, were introduced to high-intensity resistance training, including deadlifts, squats, and overhead presses. These were women who had never lifted a weight in their lives. After just 8 months, not only did they gain strength and balance, but most impressively, they actually increased bone density, something once thought impossible after menopause. And this doesn't require a gym membership or heavy equipment. You can begin right at home. Wall push-ups for upper body strength, chair squats to support hips and thighs, resistance bands for safe, low-impact full-body workouts. Even simple heel raises and balance holds improve ankle strength and stability. Consistency, not intensity, is the secret ingredient. Start with just 10 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a week. As your confidence and strength grow, so can your routine. Still skeptical? Consider this. A study from Harvard University followed adults in their 60s and 70s who began resistance training just twice a week. After 6 months, participants not only had stronger legs and better balance, but also reported less fatigue, clearer thinking, and greater emotional well-being. The benefits go far beyond your muscles. And let's not forget one of the most overlooked bonuses: your metabolism. Muscle burns more calories at rest than fat. The more muscle you have, the more efficient your body becomes at managing blood sugar, cholesterol, and body weight, key factors in preventing diabetes and cardiovascular disease. So if you're wondering, isn't it too late for me? The answer is a resounding no. Whether you're 60, 70, or even 85, your muscles are waiting to be used. And when you do, they will reward you with energy, confidence, and the strength to live fully. Let's make it practical. Pick 2 exercises you can do today. Wall push-ups and chair squats, great start. Schedule your movement like medicine. Block out time in your day the same way you would for a doctor's appointment. Track your progress. Write down reps or how you feel after. You'll be amazed at how quickly you improve. And don't forget, movement isn't just about preventing decline. It's about reclaiming something: your ability to walk confidently, get out of a chair without help, carry your grandchild, or dance at a family gathering. That's the kind of strength that matters. Coming up next, we'll explore the nutrition side of the equation and why protein is the fuel your muscles are craving to grow, recover, and protect your health. But before we move on, let me ask, what's one movement you can do today to honor your body? Share it in the comments. Let's inspire each other, because aging well isn't about doing it alone. It's about lifting each other up, one rep at a time. And while building strong muscles lays the foundation for healthy aging, there's another silent hero we can't overlook: vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. Now let's imagine this. You're stepping outside on a warm sunny morning. The light touches your skin and something almost magical happens. Your body starts producing vitamin D. No pills, no fancy diet, just nature doing its thing. But here's the catch. As we age, that natural ability begins to fade. In your 20s, just 10 to 15 minutes of sun exposure may have been enough to top off your vitamin D stores. But by the time you're in your 60s or 70s, your skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into usable vitamin D. Add to that less time outdoors, long winters, or wearing protective clothing, and suddenly you're running on empty without even knowing it. Why does that matter? Because vitamin D is way more than just a bone builder. It supports calcium absorption. Without it, even a calcium-rich diet may go to waste. Muscle strength, reducing fall risk and improving mobility. Immune function, helping your body fight infections. Heart health, regulating blood pressure and supporting vascular function. Mood and cognition, low levels have been linked to depression and even cognitive decline. A Harvard study found that over 60% of adults over age 65 are either vitamin D deficient or insufficient. That's a huge number. Millions walking around with lower energy, weakened bones, and declining resilience, often without a clue. But it doesn't have to be this way. Let's break down 3 practical ways to boost your vitamin D levels safely and effectively. The first, smart sunlight exposure. If you live in a sunny climate, use it to your advantage, but strategically. Aim for 10 to 30 minutes of midday sun exposure, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on bare skin like your arms, hands, or legs, 3 to 4 times per week. This brief window is when UVB rays are strongest and most efficient at triggering vitamin D production. But remember, don't overdo it. You don't need a tan or a burn, just a touch of sun is enough. Tip: older adults with darker skin may require slightly longer exposure to produce the same amount of vitamin D. And if you live far north or have long winters, sunlight alone won't be enough. Next up, food. While very few foods naturally contain high levels of vitamin D, some options can still make a meaningful difference when eaten consistently. Include fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna, and sardines. Just one 3.5-ounce serving of salmon can deliver around 570 IU of vitamin D. Egg yolks, a single yolk has about 40 IU. Fortified foods. Many dairy products, cereals, and plant-based milks are fortified with vitamin D. Read the labels. Mushrooms, especially UV-exposed varieties, one of the few plant-based sources of vitamin D. While these foods help, keep in mind that it's often difficult to meet your full daily requirement through food alone, especially if you're already deficient. Which brings us to the third strategy. For many seniors, supplementing with vitamin D becomes essential. But not all forms are created equal. Experts recommend using vitamin D3 cholecalciferol, which is more effective at raising and maintaining blood levels than D2 ergocalciferol. For adults over 70, the recommended daily intake is around 800 to 1000 IU, though your doctor may suggest a higher dose if you're deficient. Key tip: since vitamin D is fat-soluble, always take it with a meal that includes healthy fats, like avocado, nuts, or olive oil, to boost absorption. And don't just guess your levels. If you're unsure whether you're low in vitamin D, ask your doctor for a simple blood test called a 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. This can help tailor the right dose for your needs. Real-life inspiration. Let's take Helen, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Minnesota. For years, she struggled with low energy, poor sleep, and nagging aches in her hips and lower back. Her labs revealed a vitamin D level of 18 nanogram per milliliter, well below the optimal range. After just 3 months of taking 2,000 IU of D3 daily, spending more time in the sun, and adding sardines and yogurt to her meals, her level rose to 38 nanogram per milliliter. Her energy improved, her nighttime cramps faded, and her balance, once shaky, began to return. It's a small shift with a massive impact. So if you're serious about aging stronger, protecting your bones, improving your mood, and staying active into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, vitamin D is not optional, it's essential. Now here's your challenge. What's one action you can take this week to raise your vitamin D? Maybe it's scheduling a blood test, maybe it's adding salmon to your dinner, or maybe it's stepping outside at noon for a peaceful, sunny walk. Whatever it is, take that first step, because your health tomorrow starts with your decisions today. While optimizing your vitamin D levels supports your bones, muscles, and heart, there's another critical part of healthy aging we can't ignore: your brain. Because what's the point of living longer if your thoughts aren't clear, your memory fades, or you forget the names of the people you love most? As we age, the brain, just like the body, faces wear and tear. And with each passing decade, the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and vascular dementia rises significantly. In fact, one of the strongest predictors of cognitive decline later in life? Metabolic health, particularly type 2 diabetes. According to research from the Alzheimer's Association, people with diabetes are nearly twice as likely to develop dementia than those without it. Why? Because chronically high blood sugar and insulin resistance can damage blood vessels in the brain, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery, key for memory and focus. But here's the good news: just like we can train our bodies, we can train our brains, and we can protect them too. Let's explore 3 powerful strategies that science shows can help preserve cognitive sharpness and delay age-related decline. Fuel your brain with the right foods. You've probably heard the phrase, "food is medicine." When it comes to brain health, this couldn't be more true. A whole food diet, rich in colorful vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, and lean protein, can dramatically reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and improve blood flow to the brain. 2 standout brain-boosting eating patterns are the Mediterranean diet, packed with omega-3 rich fish, olive oil, nuts, whole grains, leafy greens, and herbs. The Mind diet, a hybrid of Mediterranean and DASH. It focuses specifically on foods linked to slower cognitive aging. What to eat more of? Leafy greens, spinach, kale, and collards, aim for at least 6 servings per week. Berries, especially blueberries and strawberries, high in antioxidants that support memory. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, and trout, full of omega-3s that protect neurons. Nuts, particularly walnuts, which may improve working memory. Olive oil, your brain's best cooking companion. Avoid processed foods, excess sugar, trans fats, and anything that spikes insulin. Your brain's long-term health depends on stable blood sugar. Exercise to grow your brain. You already know exercise is good for your heart and muscles. But did you know it's one of the most effective tools for protecting your brain? Here's how it works. Every time you move, whether it's a brisk walk, light jog, or strength training session, your body releases a powerful protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps form new neural connections and protects existing ones from damage. In a groundbreaking study from the University of British Columbia, seniors who did aerobic exercise 3 times per week showed increased hippocampal volume, the brain region for memory, and better recall after just 6 months. Even 30 minutes of moderate activity like dancing, gardening, or water aerobics can boost mood, clarity, and protect against dementia. Stimulate your mind daily. The brain is like a muscle. Use it or lose it. Mental stimulation isn't just about crossword puzzles, though they help. It's about novelty, learning something new, being curious, challenging yourself. Try learning a new language or musical instrument, taking an online course, playing strategy-based games or puzzles, socializing and engaging in deep conversations, reading diverse genres and discussing them with others. One long-term study called the Nun Study followed a group of Catholic sisters for decades and found that those who wrote with more linguistic complexity in early adulthood were less likely to develop Alzheimer's, even with similar brain pathology at autopsy. Translation: mental engagement builds cognitive reserve, your brain's backup system for staying sharp under pressure. So if you're wondering whether it's too late to boost brain health, the answer is simple. It's never too late. Start with just one change this week. Take a walk each morning, try a salmon and spinach salad for dinner, or call a friend and discuss a new idea. Every small action you take adds up, because longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding clarity, connection, and confidence to every single day. Now let's shift to another critical player in healthy aging: your heart and the intricate network of blood vessels that keep your entire body alive and thriving. Because the truth is, cardiovascular health quietly shapes everything else: your stamina, memory, digestion, and even your mood. But here's the catch. As we age, our arteries gradually lose their elasticity. They become stiffer, less flexible, and more prone to blockages. This natural stiffening process causes blood pressure to rise, which significantly increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and chronic fatigue. You may not feel these changes overnight, but over time, they can slowly rob you of energy, make simple activities exhausting, and place you at higher risk for life-threatening cardiovascular events. So what can you do about it? Surprisingly, the answer isn't just in medications. It starts with the mind. Mindfulness, the heart's secret allies. Modern science is confirming what ancient wisdom has known for centuries. Your thoughts can influence your heart. When we experience stress, whether from worry, loneliness, or physical tension, our body releases cortisol and adrenaline. In small bursts, these hormones are helpful. But chronic stress, it tightens blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and increases inflammation in the arteries. That's where mindfulness practices like yoga, tai chi, deep breathing, and meditation come in. In a 2020 study published in Frontiers in Cardiovascular Medicine, researchers found that adults over 60 who practiced meditation for just 10 to 15 minutes a day experienced significant reductions in blood pressure and improved arterial flexibility within just 8 weeks. Let's take a look at Margaret, a 72-year-old retired schoolteacher. After her doctor warned her of rising blood pressure and early signs of arterial plaque, she didn't want to rely on pills alone. She began attending gentle yoga sessions twice a week and started her mornings with 5 minutes of deep breathing. Within 3 months, her systolic blood pressure dropped 12 points, and she felt calmer, slept better, and smiled more. Practical tips to support cardiovascular function. So, how can you begin strengthening your heart and calming your vessels? Start small. Try 5 minutes of breathing meditation each morning. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and slowly inhale for 4 counts, then exhale for 6. Repeat. Add gentle movement. Explore chair yoga, tai chi, or light stretching with calming music. Stay consistent. Just like with muscle training, the magic lies in regularity. A few minutes every day beats an hour once a month. Track your progress. Monitor your blood pressure weekly. Seeing the numbers improve is powerful motivation. And remember, this isn't just about preventing disease. It's about unlocking more energy, deeper sleep, and a sense of calm control over your day, at any age. And while your heart beats steadily, your muscles stay strong, and your brain feels sharp, there's still one ingredient missing. One that no supplement, exercise plan, or medical device can replace. It's something we all crave, yet many seniors slowly lose it without realizing the toll it takes. Connection. Because the truth is, loneliness can be just as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not poetic exaggeration, it's science. According to a landmark study from Brigham Young University, strong social ties are directly linked to longer life expectancy, lower risk of chronic disease, better immune function, and sharper mental clarity. But let's be honest, as we age, staying socially connected can feel more difficult. Friends move, family gets busy, spouses pass away, and before you know it, silence fills the spaces that used to be warm with conversation. This slow drift into isolation doesn't just affect the heart. It increases the risk of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. In fact, the National Institute on Aging reports that socially isolated seniors are 50% more likely to develop dementia. But here's the good news. It's never too late to reconnect. Meet George. He's 78, lives alone, and had stopped going out after his wife passed away. His doctor noticed the signs: slower movement, forgetfulness, loss of appetite, and gently encouraged him to join a local walking group. At first, George resisted, but he went, just once a week. And within a month, everything started changing. Not only did his steps grow lighter, but his laughter came back. Conversations flowed, his memory improved. He even began volunteering to help others, creating a ripple effect of connection and purpose. So, how can you strengthen your social circle? Join a class or club. Whether it's book discussion, gentle yoga, or watercolor painting, shared interests spark conversations. Use technology. Learn video calling apps to connect with family across the country. Weekly virtual coffee dates can feel surprisingly intimate. Volunteer. Giving back at food banks, libraries, or community centers gives life structure and joy. Say yes. Next time someone invites you to lunch, to a walk, or even to try something new, say yes, even if you hesitate. You don't need dozens of friends. Even one or two meaningful connections can create powerful emotional support that acts like a shield against physical and mental decline. So as we wrap up this journey through healthy aging, remember, movement matters, food matters, sleep matters, but the people you share it all with, they might just matter most of all. Now that we've explored the role of social connection in aging well, let's turn our attention to something many older adults silently struggle with: a slowing metabolism. You may have noticed that your favorite jeans feel a little tighter, or that a modest dinner leaves you feeling heavier than it used to. You might even be eating less than before, yet the weight creeps on. What's going on? The answer lies in one of the most overlooked shifts of aging. Your metabolic rate begins to decline. After the age of 30, we lose roughly 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade. And since muscle burns more calories than fat, even at rest, the less muscle you have, the slower your body burns energy. This decline doesn't just affect your waistline. It also impacts your blood sugar levels, your energy, and your risk of chronic disease. A slower metabolism is closely linked to obesity, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes, especially among seniors. In fact, according to the CDC, over 25% of Americans aged 65 and older have diabetes, and many more are pre-diabetic without knowing it. But here's the good news. You can reignite your metabolism, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. And you don't need fad diets or extreme exercise to do it. First, build and protect your muscle. Muscle is your metabolic engine. The more lean muscle you maintain, the more efficiently your body burns calories and regulates blood sugar. Regular resistance training, like squats, wall push-ups, or lifting light weights, can significantly improve your metabolism. For example, a study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults who engaged in resistance training twice a week increased their resting metabolic rate by up to 8%, enough to counteract age-related decline. Even basic at-home exercises done consistently can yield measurable results. One 10-minute session, a few times per week, is all it takes to start protecting your muscle and boosting your metabolism. Second, cut back on added sugars and refined carbs. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at managing glucose. That means those cookies, white bread, or sugary drinks spike your blood sugar faster and keep it elevated longer, leading to energy crashes, fat storage, and inflammation. Instead, opt for whole grains like quinoa, oats, or brown rice, low glycemic fruits like berries or apples, healthy fats from avocado, nuts, and olive oil, lean proteins such as salmon, tofu, or Greek yogurt. Let's take Helen, a 69-year-old retired teacher. She felt sluggish, gained weight around her midsection, and noticed her energy was fading. After incorporating strength exercises 3 times a week and swapping sugary snacks for almonds and sliced cucumber, she lost 9 pounds and saw her blood sugar normalize, all within 3 months. The takeaway? You don't need to chase the metabolism of your 20s. But with the right habits, you can preserve a strong, steady metabolism that powers your independence and vitality well into your later years. And now, looking back at the journey we've just taken, from maintaining muscle mass and boosting vitamin D to protecting your brain, heart, and metabolism, it's clear that aging well isn't about doing one perfect thing. It's about doing a few simple things consistently, small, steady steps that, when combined, lead to lasting results. You don't need to chase perfection, follow extreme routines, or spend hours researching the latest health trends. The truth is far more empowering. Your body still wants to be strong, your brain still wants to stay sharp, and your spirit still wants to feel vibrant. Together, these 6 habits form a powerful foundation for extending both lifespan and health span, so you can not only live longer, but live better. Imagine waking up with more energy, feeling confident in your balance and strength, and showing up fully for the people and activities you love. But none of this works without one critical ingredient: you taking the first step. So, if you found today's video helpful, insightful, or even just a little inspiring, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the Senior Health Source for more practical, science-backed tips, and share this video with a loved one who deserves to age with strength and joy, just like you. Let's build a healthier future, together, one day, and one choice at a time. See you in the next video.